Have you observed that whenever you eat in a fancy restaurant or even lodge in a hotel in Lagos, you suffer tax of 12.5% on the goods and services that you consume in the restaurant or the hotel, as the case may be? This tax comprises VAT of 7.5% and consumption tax of 5%. While VAT goes to the federal government, consumption tax goes to the state government. In this video, I will tell you the story behind that double taxation. This story takes us to 1993, when VAT was introduced by the Value-Added Tax Decree of 1993. The decree imposed VAT of 5% on the supply of all taxable goods and services, and it applied across the Federation. And at that point, states were not at liberty to impose VAT or any other form of tax on the supply of goods and services that were already subject to VAT. And I think everything was fine until 1999, when we transitioned to democracy. Now, under our democracy, the legislative powers of the federal government and the state governments are clearly defined under the Constitution. And the different tiers of government can only make laws on issues or subjects that are clearly within their legislative powers under the Constitution. While the federal government has powers to make laws on any subjects within what we call the exclusive legislative list and the concurrent legislative list, the state governments, on the other hand, have the powers to legislate on subjects in the concurrent list and on any subject that is not contained in the concurrent list or the exclusive list. And interestingly, VAT is neither contained in the exclusive list nor the concurrent list. So, the federal government does not have any constitutional powers to impose VAT on the supply of goods and services that happen within state territories. However, the government has continued to apply the VAT decree, now the VAT Act, across the Federation, notwithstanding the absence of any constitutional powers in that regard. And it's important to note that the Federal High Court has, in several cases, declared that the VAT Act is unconstitutional and the federal government lacks the powers to charge VAT on supplies of goods and services within state territories. And because the state governments are aware that they are the ones that are constitutionally empowered to charge VAT or sales tax or consumption tax, as the case may be, states like Lagos have exercised that power by introducing a consumption tax. I'm aware that a similar tax applies in Abuja, but it is called entertainment tax in Abuja. And these state taxes operate concurrently with value-added tax. So in summary, this is why you suffer double taxation in Abuja and in Lagos. But I must also mention that the VAT that is collected by the federal government is not kept by the federal government to itself. The revenue is distributed between the federal government, the state governments, and the local governments. So the state governments are already entitled to a share of VAT revenue. And if you ask me, I actually think that it is preferable for the federal government to administer VAT, because I believe that the FIRS is better placed to more efficiently administer VAT. And I actually don't think that we need 36 or 37 laws on VAT in the country. But the desirability of centralizing VAT does not address the constitutional issue. And I had hoped that at some point in time, the federal and state governments would have a common ground by amending the constitution to include VAT in the exclusive list. And I believed that the recent tax reforms presented a very good opportunity for the government to do that. But that did not happen. Instead, the National Assembly has, through the new tax laws, empowered the federal government to collect VAT in the same manner as the VAT Act. So it does not appear that the issue of double taxation would be addressed anytime soon. However, I believe that taxpayers can still challenge the VAT provisions in the new tax laws. And the good thing is there is already precedent on the fact that the federal government lacks the constitutional powers to impose VAT in the manner that it did under the VAT Act and the new tax laws. So the choice is up to individual taxpayers whether they want to go to court to challenge the validity of the VAT provisions or they just want to comply.